What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Reggie, back from vacation, back to work, and back to my top 10 videos. Now, as you can see from up top, I've got a stellar list for you today. This one is going to be my top 10 clubbing / night out fragrances. This list is going to be predominantly powerhouse fragrances. Just kick you in the butt, take names, just beautiful fragrances that are going to last, project, and get tons of compliments. So with that being said, let's get started with my two honorable mentions in this list. The first one being Prada's Amber Pour Homme Intense. This dark and mysterious fragrance is a very, very intriguing bergamot heavy fragrance with patchouli in it. Not too sweet, but still sweet enough to be intriguing, and I think the more I wear it, the higher it will be up in my list. This one is definitely a very unique fragrance, and I'm extremely surprised that they even put the Prada Amber Pour Homme label on it, because it seems that it needs to be its own fragrance. The original Prada Amber Pour Homme is phenomenal, and it does have a couple of similarities, but this intense version just ramps it up to a new level and smells like a completely different fragrance. Again, this is going to be my first honorable mention. My second honorable mention is going to be from the house of Dolce & Gabbana. It is The One. Now, of course, this one gets played like nobody's business, and for a reason. It's an awesome fruit punch-like flavor in your face. I get great longevity with it. I get about 6 hours on my skin. Tons of compliments. If I do over-apply it, unfortunately it does become a bit cloying, but if you stay light on the trigger just enough to where you're getting tons of compliments like I do, you'll be extremely happy with this fragrance. This is Dolce & Gabbana's The One. Now, let's get started with my top 10 list. Coming in at number 10, I could not have this list done without this fragrance. This is one of the, if not the most complimented fragrance that I own. From the house of Chanel, this is Bleu de Chanel. Now, even being an aquatic, and a grapefruit aquatic at that, I still wear this out. Absolutely adore it. Women love it. It still garners compliments. It's got a very sweet grapefruit note, not too tart, but still a very pleasing note, and gets compliments. Like I said, anything that you can enjoy yourself, even though I find a bit synthetic, it's not overly synthetic, still well blended, still one of the better aquatics out there that isn't too salty, isn't too sweet, but very nice and well blended from the house of Chanel. This is Bleu de Chanel, coming in at number 10. Now, at number 9, from the house of Dolce & Gabbana again. This one's from the Anthology series. This is number 10, La Rue de la Fortune. This is a unisex fragrance that, as implied, is a bit on the feminine side. So if you have to blind buy, be a bit cautious, because this one is a bit more feminine. Not to say that you can't pull it off. I pull this off phenomenally and get tons of compliments. But be leery, and if you can, try to get a sample of this before buying it outright. I absolutely love it for the fact that it's very unique. It reminds me of Prada's Amber Pour Homme Original mixed with a lot of heavy patchouli and sweet chocolate. So it's got a very gourmandish-like vibe, but very clean and unisex at the same time. This is going to be my number 9. Coming in at number 8, from the house of Jean Paul Gaultier, this is Limal. And you should have seen it coming. This stuff has everything that you need for a powerhouse fragrance. It lasts, it projects, it is an absolute vanilla and powder bomb. This stuff is great. And again, you may run the risk of having a lot of similar people wearing it, but it's a risk you take. And again, same with Acqua di Gio. It's a great fragrance for a reason. It gets tons of compliments and works. So this is going to be my number 8, Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male. Coming in at number 7, I have from the house of Diesel. This is Diesel's Fuel for Life. Now, this one I had to include it on this list because it is extremely unique. Unique for the house and unique overall. I absolutely love my fruit punch fragrances. This has got a lot of that heavy fruit note at the top, a bit of a semi-sweet cocoa going through it. I think it's a great fragrance, especially if you're trying to attract attention at the parties and clubs and whatnot. It projects, lasts, does everything that I want it to. A bit underrated, I would say, for fragrances. It is synthetic, don't get me wrong, but still one of the better in the house of Diesel. This is Fuel for Life. Now, coming in at number 6, this is another from the house of Chanel. This is Allure Homme Sport Au Extreme. Now this one, again, tons of cocoa, tons of patchouli, well blended, gets compliments, projects, lasts on my skin. I know people have had spotty longevity with this, but again, same with Allure Homme Sport. Has a little bit of citrus at the top note, but I say predominantly is a very nice semi-sweet gourmand, or even full-bodied sweet gourmand. This stuff definitely garners compliments. So another one from the house of Chanel that is very well done and needs to be in more people's top 10 or purchase lists. This is Chanel's Allure Homme Sport Au Extreme. Now, coming in at number 5, this is going to be a very, very nice fragrance, especially for the money. This is from the house of Aquilina. It is none other than Blue Sugar. Now, if anybody has smelled the Pink Sugar, which is their original version for women, this is a very similar fragrance to that. And for that reason, I think that's why this gets so many compliments and women absolutely love it. On top of it, absolutely being annihilated in compliments, you get a ton of licorice and that sweet, sweet cotton candy note on the top notes of this fragrance, which can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you like anise and how you like cotton candy. Now, this may come off as a bit more feminine because of that sweeter cotton candy note, but I will tell you that if you enjoy it, you're going to absolutely go bonkers for it. Women love it. I happen to enjoy it, and that's why I have 2 bottles of it. Great stuff. This is Blue Sugar from the house of Aquilina. Again, cannot go wrong. It lasts forever and just gets compliments. Gotta try it, guys. That's going to be number 5. Let's go down to number 4 on this list. Another anise-based fragrance. This one is going to be a little bit more refined, I would say. This is Lolita Olympica's Au Masculin. Now, this has much, I would say, more anise and a bit less on the cotton candy vibe, but has vanilla in it. So it definitely makes up and I would say is a much more refined and beautiful smelling fragrance, especially for the price. Again, another one that's not going to break the bank and gets tons of compliments from women and just in general. It's a very unique fragrance because of that licorice note, and I should have gone ahead and stipulated that if you're not a licorice fan, stay away from both Blue Sugar and Lolita Olympica's Eau Masculin, because they're both very anise dominated fragrances. But again, if you can tolerate that licorice note, it garners compliments. Absolutely great stuff, guys. Lasts forever, projects, can't ask for more. This is going to be my number 4. Now, coming in at number 3, this is from the house of Paco Rabanne, none other than 1 Million. The gold bullion rears its head again, and for a good reason. This stuff is got to be the strongest in my arsenal. Out of all the fragrance I own, this one has to be the most potent. You can put 2 sprays of this and have it last just for absolute ever. It's great stuff, a bit synthetic, don't get me wrong, but I think for a clubbing fragrance where you're looking to possibly overpower, dominate, and you know, just pretty much be a very unique individual and try to get attention, this is going to work. This is going to get it. Paco Rabanne's 1 Million. Hopefully not too many people are buying this right now. I know it's hitting retail stores. It used to be where you can only get it in over in Europe. Now it's pretty much available everywhere, but we'll see how long it lasts. I haven't seen it get too much play in my area, so that's going to be number 3, guys. Coming in at number 2, this from the house of Escada is Escada's Magnetism. Now, there aren't too many Escada fragrances that I enjoy, but this one is killer. This one is absolutely phenomenal, and for that reason, it makes my number 2. It's got a very unique grape soda fragrance. It's just off the wall. I've never smelled anything like this stuff. And again, if you can get yourself a bottle of this has been discontinued, but if you can pick up a 1.7 ounce or even a decant of it, try it out. It's a bit synthetic, don't get me wrong, but it is so unique that it's worth the purchase. Women love it. They haven't smelled anything like it, so that's why I believe this one does so well on my skin, and I get absolutely amazing longevity, projection, and tons of compliments with this fragrance. That's why it's coming in at my number 2, Escada's Magnetism. Now, to round the list off, guys, I know this may seem a bit redundant, but this is going to be my number 1 night out fragrance. From the house of Thierry Mugler, it is none other than pure malt mixed with the original Angelman or Amen. You combine these two and you have got one of the most potent and best smelling fragrances you can purchase designer wise. I think these both combined are phenomenal. You get the massive attack and bombardment of patchouli and chocolate with the original Amen, with a couple of sprays, 2 sprays I usually do, and then another couple of sprays of pure malt with that beautiful whiskey. That aged whiskey is just absolutely phenomenal. Again, I cannot say enough about the combination of these 2 fragrances. When you go out and you're trying to impress and you want something that will last along with smell good, these 2 you can't touch. Again, guys, I appreciate all of your time, your comments, and your opinions. Go ahead and put yours down below if you have a top night out fragrance. And again, thank you for watching. Take care.